Hi, my name is Brittany Jepson, and I have with me here Romy-Krystal Cutler.
Hi.
Of
Happy
So
to be here.
I am so thrilled to have Romy here today because Romy is fun, and Romy can do anything.
Yeah. I'm crafting today.
She's crafting today. Normally you craft clothes.
Yes, that is where I feel at home.
Yeah, and she does an amazing job. For this video, she came in and she's like, I have red. And I was like, oh, great. She's like, no, I made this. And
I made this for this. I don't wear red.
Yes.
So I needed to find something.
And I love the Australian is like, I made red with strawberries on
yes.
it.
This is indicative of Australian Christmas. So, you know, it's summer, it's reverse. So
I appreciate that.
I mixed the two, yeah.
So go over and follow Romy. She is a pure delight. She makes all these, like, if you're going to make clothes, these are the types of clothes you want to wear.
Thank you. Yes, I like to think
And my quilt coat.
Yes, that was me.
That was Romy. I wear it. I was wearing it when you got here.
Yes, I commented on it because I made it naturally. Had to compliment it.
I wear it every day. Okay, and because she's from Australia, where are you from again?
I'm from Sydney.
I asked her, is there a craft or something traditionally Christmas that we could make where you would feel at home?
Yes.
And so today we are going to be making some, what are we making?
Christmas crackers.
Okay, and some people call them poppers.
Yes.
So let us know if you are a cracker, team popper.
We're very literal in Australia. So it makes a crack noise, so it's called a cracker.
But maybe some people would argue that it's a pop sound.
Yes, this is true.
Okay, so what we have here is we have a couple of templates that we have from our shop, thehousethatlarsbuilt.com, shop.thehousethatlarsbuilt.com, and pick which one you want. I'll pick the opposite of what you choose because it matches.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, and then I'm going to do the yellow and blue. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cut around it. And then we are going to take an X-Acto. I have your X-Acto.
Oh, thank you.
And a metal ruler. We have our glue guns in. We have some cute rickrack or ribbons to tie at the end. So let's get making. Okay. So
I'm excited to actually use craft scissors.
As opposed to
fabric scissors. Yeah, which, you know, in my house, you touch them, you die. Like, you don't
do you
use
still
them
have
for
children
anything
left? Or are they
they're
gone?
still, it's the husband, actually. That's the one who's like, can I use your scissors? No,
get out of this room.
like, stop it.
Yeah, so what is the punishment if you use fabric scissors?
Well, I wish I could punish him more, but he's also the one who says yes to me buying fabric all the time.
Oh, I see. So you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you.
He's also the one who takes my pictures. So, you know, he's useful. So I'm
he can also make you not look good.
Yeah.
Okay, I see where you're going.
He's told, you know, I know what angles definitely don't work for me now.
Okay.
And that's the fun part of having your husband as your photographer, because they tell you the truth.
Oh, that's fun. That's real fun. How long have you been doing So Like?
So has actually only been around for maybe 2 years now, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I did not know there was a sewing community. And I strictly only started that account because my husband got kind of sick of me talking about my sewing. And when we would walk into a store, he hated that he knew more than other women. So it's like when you walk into like a makeup store and like, you know, someone who doesn't look like they know about makeup knows about makeup. Like, you know, like my father, which is what my mom does. Is that true? Yeah.
Your mom does
because my mom's all makeup and nails.
Oh.
So like she's always done that. And so my dad knows way too much about acrylics and makeup. And so my husband knows too much about sewing.
Oh, can he sew?
No, and I've tried to get him to, and he's so scared of my machine.
I just feel like at some point it's like, let's be effective.
Yes.
Like with the knowledge you have.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. We went to New York to the garment district.
Yes.
And he went to every store with me in like 96-degree humid heat. And he carried all the linens I bought and all the stuff. But he was touching it on. He's like, this has fantastic drape. And he's like, do not repeat this to anyone. And here I am telling everyone.
He'll never know.
He won't know at all. I like how you cut this out like a pro. Look at that. I should have just gone. Oh, I'm gonna do that.
So my trick is that I cut the corners. I do one long strip.
Right.
And then I go in and do
All right, I'm gonna do that on this side.
I don't know.
Me and my novice way over here.
It makes me feel better. I don't know if it's more effective because you were faster. So if we were winning.
But was I neater? That is the question.
Oh, listen, I don't know. So what were your Christmas traditions?
So growing up, we would always put up the tree on the 1st of December. My mom was very big on the tree, and we would write our...
When you say it like that, it sounds like she's on the tree, and she's very large, so it's a very small tree. I know that's very idiotic of me to point out, but that's a funny image in my head.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, no, she was not physically on the tree. I realize a lot of the things that we say as Australians sounds very. I think it's a very fun picture for Americans.
I think we also say that, but I don't know why I like to call you out. I guess I don't know.
No, I like when I get called out because I don't actually understand now when I speak things that are Australian-esque or things that are American. So my parents do what you just did, but opposite.
Oh.
So they'll be like, oh, really? Did you put it in the trunk of the car?
And I know this, and not the, Michelle says this all the time. What is that?
The boot.
The boot
of the car, yeah. And so my mom's always like, oh, and then trash, the other one. She's like, oh, did you put it in the trash? And I was like, oh, okay, because we say rubbish.
Right, the rubbish.
But I do that because my son's now in school.
Oh, and you don't want to confuse him?
Yes, but he does like to correct me sometimes now.
Okay.
Which I never understood rage until my little half American, half Australian is like, no, Mum, that's not how you say it. And it's like, oh, okay.
Oh, look at we finished.
We finished at the same time.
Good job. I want to know how you met your husband.
So I met my husband briefly in Sydney, and when I say briefly, I mean I shook his hand when I first met him, never met him again, and then I stepped on his foot the second time I met him. And that was the only... Am I scoring now? Or what am I doing now?
You can do either. So I'm going to cut out the little windows. So
let's do that.
The white parts, you use an X-Acto to cut out these little white windows. Okay. And I would recommend a metal ruler. So
yes. All right, I can do that.
And one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up so I can do one side.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. But I've already started, so here I am.
And they don't line up perfectly, so it's fine that you don't do it this way. But I'm still going to do it. Okay, so you shook his hand?
I shook his hand and then I stepped on his foot the second time.
Out of choice?
Well, apparently. I think it was just the stars aligning, really, wasn't it? So I didn't really know him, and I just, that's the 2 times I met him. But then one of my friends actually got interested in my husband's sister.
Ooh.
And so he started up a conversation with her, came over here to meet her, and he was an absolute horrible person. I'm going to try really hard with not to say other things about it, but pretty much that didn't go well. So as a result, I started talking to his sister because girl code, you're kind of there for the girls and just be
Always.
like, oh no, this boy was awful. And so as a result, when I came over here on vacation, we went on a road trip with his sister and his sister's best friend. And then I was like, well, I need to bring someone I know. And so I brought one of my friends who had recently moved to Utah, and we all went on a road trip. And then what happens on road trips? You fall in love.
Now, how often are you making clothes?
So that's gone down a lot since my oldest went to kindergarten.
Okay.
But I haven't been posting a lot because of the holiday season. But I did, last week I made 3 items.
Okay.
Which is cut down for me. So I used to make, I could make up to 5 things in a week.
Wow. We're talking dresses.
Dresses, coats, pants. So last night I started and finished a pair of pants.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's just when I have time.
And talk to me about your workspace.
Oh, so it's called the sewing dungeon. It's actually the cold room behind our garage, because I used to actually sew on our kitchen table, which doesn't make for great space when you want to actually eat on your kitchen table. So my husband made sure that wherever we were moving to had some form of space for me to sew, which happened to be the cold room behind our garage. So there's no windows, there's no natural light. I actually cannot really see down there, but I sew in there. So yes, it's fun.
I bet many of us can relate to that type of situation.
Yeah, and but I have a little Google box in there, so I just, tell it to play me some music, and
Oh, that's all you need.
Yeah.
What's on your playlist?
oh, that's a good question. I don't know if it's appropriate to say what's.
Oh dear. Is it saucy?
It's saucy, I think, sometimes.
A little salacious?
So, yeah, a little. That's when I'm like in a groove and I just want to get things. That's how I sew fast. There you go. That's the secret.
I'm sure this isn't very exciting to watch in hindsight.
It's really fun to do.
It's actually like one of those where I can imagine like you put on a show and then you just whip them out in a night, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or this would be like a fun group one, like, hey everybody, we're doing
this.
crackers.
Crackers. I have honestly, this is so nice because that was one of my favorite things to do. Like when it was Christmas time, go out and get crackers with Mom.
Oh.
And make sure we got the good ones. Because
what are the good ones?
So the good ones are the ones that come with like a little toy or a little game inside, plus a joke, plus a little paper hat. Whereas the cheaper ones only come with the bad joke and the Christmas hat. So no game.
Do you remember any of the bad jokes?
Oh, I wish I did. Let me think. They were awful. Just awful. It was but awful Christmas jokes. So they were always about, Santa or a reindeer but yeah, they were.
Did you hear about the new corduroy pillows?
No.
I hear they're making headlines.
Oh.
Get it? Okay.
So this is. I'm so glad you cannot zoom in on this.
So now what's good, I guess, is that the score lines are pretty dark. So hopefully you can see they're dark dotted lines. And we're going to use our craft knife to do it. You can use you can use a scoring device. We're going to do it pretty lightly. We're using cardstock. So if you go too hard, it will cut
just
through.
go through.
I like to put my ruler slightly to the other side of the dotted line, so it goes right onto the line.
I know this feeling very well because when I print out sewing patterns, I use a paper cutter to line it up.
Oh, like a chop one?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, like digital ones?
Yes.
I see. Is that what most people do nowadays?
Most people actually have moved to the projector files.
What is that?
So they get a projector and they put it down.
Wow.
So it totally cuts out the whole tracing, getting your paper pattern. It's all very, very nifty.
So now you can test one to see how it looks. So I'm going to fold it.
I've been testing as I go.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah, so it's folding quite nicely. And Romy, you also work at a fabric store.
I do. I work for Harmony Provost, since we're talking about local, which is a magical wonderland.
It really is.
So it's not just fabric, it's all your knitting and crochet needs, and then also gifts.
It's pretty incredible that we have such a great shop here.
Yes.
We don't have too many, but when we do,
we do it
they're
well.
awesome.
I got this scored.
So what I did is I just folded them.
I need to go in.
And then the little sections, you go in. Because that's where we're going to be tying.
Oh, right.
Does that make sense? And then everything else is going to be that one way. So you can already see it taking shape. It looks like a candy. I like it.
All right, I think I'm
We there?
I'm there.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our glue gun. It can be any type of glue. I like glue gun because it does the deed. And then you're gonna put it all along the one side where they connect. So one full side will be connected, and you'll do even the ends.
All right.
Okay, now you get some ties. I'm doing a red.
I'm gonna steal this
And I'm
really
going
bright
to
one.
put it around. And one thing we are not showing how to do today is the pop sound.
The crack sound.
The crack sound. There is a longer tutorial on thehousethatlarsbuilt.com. Well, thank you so much, Romy, for joining me in this classic Christmas series.
I'm super happy.
It's so fun to make probably projects that maybe not too many of us have actually made, but are totally classic.
Like something that I've known my whole life and I had no idea how it was made. So it was nice to do it. There it is.
Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for more Classic Christmas.
Bye.